Howdy, it's Matt, and I found the DVR footage for the tip stalling binary. Now, just to bring you up to speed, is that what we've got here is revision 2 for me of the binary. You'll see that we have tri-bladed props. I have fixed the motor mount. I've done a mod to the wing to make sure it fits in place much more securely than before, because it did have a slight issue of falling off. And the day which I first made it on, you would have been horrified. It was like 20, 25 mile an hour winds, and you just couldn't even trim it in. It was just absolutely horrific, and I felt really unfair to the model to and to you to share that kind of footage with you, because it was just not a good representation of the model. So what I did find is that I could have done with a little bit more thrust. That's why I've moved to tri-blade props and the R counter rotating as well. I also put lots and lots of extra glue into the motor mounts as well, because that is a big weakness with the binary. Put the wing to one side because it's not a very good wing section. That's me keeping it very PG. And the motor mounts are absolutely terrible, especially compared to the Alba wing, the Alba bird, which I've got here. The motor mounts in the binary are absolutely terrible. So if you own one, go and check your motor mounts right now, because the glue and the moulding around it, it does come loose very, because it's left to you to insert the plywood and put enough glue in there to hold it, and generally most people like me didn't put enough glue in it, and that's why we ended up with thrust angle issues. Anyway, that's been brought us up to speed. Now, this additional evidence, which is that you will see me probably by now on the flight line really enjoying the binary. It was flying so well, and you can't forgive me for just going up and down the flight line, because she was just so beautiful in the sky. So with that said, let's go and cut across to some DVR footage, and I want to point out one key piece. So let's get the DVR footage up, and then we'll look at this in more detail. Right, we're getting ready for a nice failed launch, which I'd thought I'd leave in it just so you could take the pee out of me, and also you can see me just chatting away. Now, in all seriousness, I need you to take a look at the throttle percentage. So one thing which I have set up on my on-screen display with iNav is the percentage throttle, and you'll see that we're up to 34%, which obviously was not enough for that beautiful, beautiful launch. But like I said, I will leave that in here because that was part of the journey with the binary. I also had issues on the previous day. I thought it was just because it was so windy, but the irony is that you really do need an awful lot of throttle to get the model in the sky. So we're up at 35%, 50% throttle now in the sky, and you'll notice that it's flying around and the throttle's not really moving. I've got half stick up, although I've just been and dropped it there, and it seems to be flying really nicely on the screen, around in the sky. Would you agree with me on that? We're doing 55 kilometers, which we can see on the left-hand side in the middle. I'm at 30% throttle. It seems to be behaving itself. And here's me smashing it around, and you'll see me. I'm up at 45% throttle, down to 39. But all the time, I've got a decent amount of throttle on. And this was me later on in the previous video, which you'd seen. And this is me just doing some passes up and down, just genuinely. Look, that was by the way, that was a 0% turn, 10% throttle turn. The model was behaving as well as I had expected it to be. It's just a model airplane. It was doing, look, but did you notice that it started misbehaving then? Although I just dropped down behind the hedge line and did a nice low pass, it was not behaving over by those trees. Now, yes, there was a slight wind going west to east, so from our left to our right, but even still, it shouldn't be that much to unsettle this model airplane. And even there, look, I was on 0% throttle doing a whole glide by, and it was just behaving. And that was the real oddity thing for this, is that I know that I've induced a tip stall with this model, which we will get to in a moment. And remember, keep a real close eye on that throttle, because it's going to happen in just a moment's time. But in all seriousness, I'm not doing, and that was me dodging out the way, I'm not doing anything abnormal here. I'm on 55% throttle, 40-25. See, I'm throttling. I know this model has a tendency to tip stall, and then when I was in that turn, I had a really high, a good half throttle on the model. It's a tri-blade propellers with 1250 kV models. And look, can you see it's bouncing in the tail? And a couple of people asked, was the CG right? And the answer was yes. And here we go. It's going to go. It's going to go. It's gone. Right. Let's pause it there for a moment. And what we're going to do, we're going to rewind it and then go and see the throttle which I was using. And the moment is a return to home. Great. Okay, so I've been and rewound this. Let's take a closer look at this. I'm on 55% throttle. That's half throttle, everything which I was using in this turn. Granted, it's a little bit tight. I drop down. I do knock the throttle off. And then, right, okay. It's not this turn, it's the next turn. So I'm going to leave that in there just to make the point that in the turns, look, I am using a good half throttle in most of the turns. And once the model's right over, is that it is behaving behaving fine. So we turn round to the right, we're on 40%, 55, 40. Look at the percentage throttle. I was over half throttle and it still went in. So there's the DVR evidence for the binary. Please, I openly welcome any criticism, good or bad, to what happened there. I've included like the raw HD, which they did about a week or so ago. But this is the DVR footage, and there it is having an attack on the floor, a cardiac arrest, because it's trying to return to home and because it's knocked the receiver out and wants to come home, but it's already planted in the ground. So yeah, should we just cut to the cool bit when we dispatch it? I think we should do. And by the way, I genuinely mean this. Comments, good, bad or ugly. Did I do something wrong? Was I not giving it enough throttle? Was I misbehaving? With all the evidence which you've seen, let me know in the comment section, because I would really genuinely value your feedback. Because it was fine in every other blooming turn. That one went splat.
The rocket, right, the second protocol was to go up there.
Right up its chuff.
Oh no. You got a bit of wood.
Will that wedge it? That will wedge, won't it?
Yeah, just there, it'll be fine. Oh, wait, I want that battery strap. Don't ruin it.
It's going to have a battery connected to it in a minute.
There you go, look.
That's
not
perfect.
going to be CG.
It is with this lot in the front.
You've got 4 minutes to blow this mofo.
Josh watching.
Josh,
I'd stand back well out of the way because we're going to rip you a new one.
Yeah, we'll stand it.
No. Stop!
Whoa. Take your goggles off. Take your goggles. Oh, fucking hell, man. That's it, you're over the wire.
I love you! What we need to hold.
Right, we good to go?
So, yeah. Plug in, press button.
Right,
no, not now, no. Wait, it's got about 10 seconds after you plug. Don't plug it in now.
No?
No.
Plug it in.
Wait until it's in the air.
There we go.
No, it's just there. That goes pop.
You've got two safety switches.
Channel 1 and channel 2.
Oh.
I got coughing aids now. We good?
So, take one.
That's all I need.
Rocket binary pink style.
Right.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, fire, go!
I didn't even press it. I didn't even press it.
Oh.
I didn't even plug it in.
Can smell the smoke.
That's
Battery survived.
So
Still smoking down here.
Got some wire.
That survived.
Matt wanted a battery strap back, didn't he?
yeah. Oh, it's gone. Oh,
Fire, go!
I didn't even press it. I didn't even press it.
Oh.
I didn't even plug it in.
Can smell the smoke.
That's
Fire thing. Low pass.
Real man and catch it.
yeah.
Josh?
Ah.
Right, here we go. Right, in the edge, yeah?
Oh yeah, get it close. Don't purposely stuff it in the hedge.
Yeah, the plane's got to fly through the hedge.
Not straight at me, you tosser.
Heads up!
Should have caught it. Way!
Still flying! In the hedge!
I could have quite easily
Yeah.
caught that.